What have you done?
Kerrigan, the die you cast. This is the last day. Your swarm darkens the sky of any planet.
Forget names. Forget all of it.
What?
When we are done here, I will return to my people and accept their judgment.
Command, we've found Kerrigan. She's holed up in a Zerg base.
I made my peace long ago.
Consider it done. For ire. Indeed.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy holidays to all, and whatever holidays you celebrated, I hope you celebrated them well. We are in that awkward little phase between Christmas and New Year's here in the United States, and what better way to make it more awkward than to throw together our quarterfinals of the FSL Code S+. We have KJ Freedom, and we have Lighthood right here. I'm going to bring them in just quickly. Now, one of the things is we actually have already done the first map. Oh, here. Let me get the stream channel too. Alright, hello KJ. Lighthood? I think Lighthood just stepped away. Oh, now he's stepping back. There's your play-by-play for you. Welcome. So we already have one map down. That map was won by Lighthood. I'm bringing up the maps right now, actually. So, Grassfin. Lighthood won that game. And we are ready to go on to Ancient Cistern. And if it goes there, we'll be doing Royal Blood. Now, the winner of this match will be taking on DarkMenace.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sounds wonderful. Alright, so we are on opposite sides of the Atlantic Ocean here, so we had to go through some effort to make time, but now that it's here, we're ready to pick up right where we left off. I figure we can probably save most of the interview for afterwards, since I know it's pretty late over there in Algeria. Any words you want to do as we pick up map 2?
I guess I'm ready for that.
Alright, KJ, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Alright, Ancient Cistern.
Good luck, AJ.
Good luck, man.
Alright. Oddly enough, Lighthood and his brother have had a lot more luck on the central US servers. That's what we're going with here. Now, Lighthood has really blazed a path of destruction up to this point. He started in regular Code S, and let me tell you, I don't think he's lost a single match. He has lost some maps here and there. All right, we are ready to go. Ancient Cistern. Keep in mind, we are still using last season's ladder maps, just so we didn't have to switch anyone around. GLHF. Alright, in the upper right, we have our Yellow Terran. He is
KJ Freedom.
and his opponent, up one map, just that. He is the Terran in the red, and he goes by
Lighthood.
Alright, we have our initial supply depots down. SCV scouting across the map. I think KJ might be waiting to use a Reaper. Both of them more or less doing the same thing. Little bit later refinery on Lighthood's part. I'm willing to bet that he is going to do some tickling. He's going to see if he can interrupt the building of this barracks. We got a nice massage line going on there. And the wounded SCV moves back. Another SCV gives chase. Well, another SCV takes over the construction. Now, Lighthood loves to start out with heavy-duty Reaper play. He's only made one barracks so far. And KJ Freedom completes the wall, getting a Reaper of his own started. I think KJ really prefers to start out with things like a mine drop. Factory getting started from KJ Freedom. Meanwhile, we've got an on-site command center being made by Lighthood. Now he's sending out just a single Reaper. He's not being overly aggressive. So I think in the past we've really seen him favor kind of more of a triple Reaper play here. And yeah, we are starting a little bit earlier than usual, and our chatbot Matheson has been heavily upgraded so that it remembers the match history of all of our players. And I believe that's dating all the way back to FSL Season 1. I seriously doubt I have a winning record myself. Oh, well, there we go. Never settling for one Reaper. We have the Reaper retreating, but then his friend waiting right there on the high ground, surrounding the Yellow Reaper, and it goes down just like that. The grenade does drop, but it does not explode on anything. However, KJ does have a Reaper heading over to Lighthood's base. However, these two, yes, they're going to be able to delay the construction of this natural. And then, yeah, we have KJ's Reaper. I think, yeah, the wall goes up, but the Reaper just takes the long way around. And here we go. Hellion defending against the Reapers. It hurts both of them. They're going to heal, though. And then we've got a Cyclone coming out. They are using their little pistols against the not completed command center, but now they're moving back. And I think KJ Freedom's Reaper did go down there. Siege tank on the way from Lighthood. And then we've got multiple Marines. KJ Freedom is creating a Liberator, so I think that's what he's going to use to try to gain a little bit of an economic advantage to begin with. Here we go. The Reaper is moving back over. Potentially, they could do another delay, but there's going to be two Marines waiting. No, they're just going to stay. What are they going to do? I think they're just waiting to see what's going to come out. And we have an offensive Cyclone, but there was a siege tank there to meet him. Oh, man. So, the command center is delayed. KJ decides to just continue moving that Liberator along. This is really going to be a problem for KJ Freedom's economy. And he knows the Liberator's on the way, so 5 Marines getting ready. They can keep moving away from the circle, the Liberation Circle, whenever it comes up. Looks like this command center is going to complete finally. And there we go. Oh, look at that. It liberates just within range of those Marines. Does very little damage. So far, Lighthood is definitely causing more chaos on KJ Freedom's side of the map. 2 dropships on the way from Lighthood, a Liberator on the way from KJ. No upgrades have been completed yet on either side. And here are those Reapers. I mean, this pair has been able to stay alive for a very long time. They are good buddies. They've been through it all together. And no way one of them is going to leave the other behind. Lighthood is starting to research attack upgrades, and I don't know, is the factory accidentally queued over here? I don't think so. I think he does want to just come up and try to move forward and back against the expansions. Now, if that Cyclone does intercept that medevac, it does not. So I'm guessing Lighthood is going to try to do 2 drops simultaneously, one in the natural and one in the main. Wouldn't be surprised if these Reapers decide to join the party too. We do have a siege tank on low ground, but really nothing defending the main right now. There is going to be a Viking siege tank coming out shortly, but I don't think KJ knows what's coming. Alright, he does have a missile turret, and it quickly does bring down the medevac before everything is unloaded. Liberator taking care of the siege tank, but 7 SCVs have gone down, and we have the Reapers and siege tank, couple of those Marines. KJ Freedom has only just is moving his SCVs out of range of the tank. Lighthood is at 77 supply, Freedom only 43. Liberation Zone once again going down around the tank. Once he's got that taken care of, he can move forward. A Marine steps forward, but it doesn't last long. Lighthood has already got a functional orbital command in his 3rd. So even though KJ Freedom cleans up, there's a lot of catching up to do, and here comes a Liberator from Lighthood. The Cyclone pretty quickly takes it down. KJ Freedom realizing that at this point he's probably going to have to do something offensive. Oh, and this Liberator goes right over a platoon of Marines. This just isn't getting better. And the terrain is splitting up the flying units and the ground units. 1 tank sieges for Lighthood, 2nd tank sieges. Here come the infantry. And Lighthood timing things out very well. They do take a couple pretty big hits, but the majority of them manage to back off. Now, Lighthood does not have any medevacs left right now. So those Marines are going to stay at low health for quite a while. And that also means that, well, at least one of them won't be able to stem. KJ keeps 1 tank and some Marines on one hill and starts to circle around with the rest. The tanks have not sieged yet, but okay, they do get the cancel regardless. And this is the positional play that comes into Terran. You got to be very mindful about where and when you siege, where and when you stem, where and when you liberate. I think KJ has decided to back away. He has not started working on a 3rd yet. Right now it's 35 SCVs to 65. And Lighthood is immediately moving where KJ retreated from. And a couple of SCVs. I don't know if they were going to build a missile turret or a bunker. Here we go. KJ is sieging. He's got Liberators. They're going to... I don't know what liberation mode. They're going to motor, liberate. I don't know. But look at all these upgrades going down for Lighthood. Liberation Zone goes down. Does not last long, thanks to the air control on behalf of KJ. And that's the real saving grace right now. He's got those Liberators and those Vikings. Those can clear things out and then provide vision for the tanks. Here we go. KJ attempting to take his 3rd. Lighthood on his way to taking a 4th. Lighthood has +1 bio attack right now. And here we go. Once again, the air units getting way ahead of the ground units. And Lighthood, meanwhile, is taken the other way around. 2 armies passing the night. +1/+1. So +1 armor and +1 attack for Lighthood. These Marines, alright, they're going to try to snipe. They snipe one tank, they snipe another tank. Tanks do not get replaced very quickly. Right now, KJ has 2 factories. That'll help. Both sides have their sensor towers up. These brave Marines charging right up the hill. And despite all the damage, sniping tanks, sniping Liberators, and just like that is cleared. The DPS of Terran. Oh man, 140 supply. 142 supply to 64, and more coming. More upgrades, more bases. I think Lighthood being well over double the supply of his opponent. He is going to screw the vice closed. Possibly moving for the kill. He's got a whole parade coming down here. First, he's got to establish a nice little point to hold here. Look at that. Lighthood has just been brutal when it comes to stimming and then just focusing down tanks. That, oh, and look at the siege tank. Siege is just outside the liberation zone. I think, I dare to say, Lighthood's been practicing. Not that he isn't usually at this level, but he isn't missing a beat here. And the avalanche continues. The snowball, 12, 13 SCVs. Freedom's got tanks, but they're down on the low ground. And with those Marines, it's going to be hard to find a good place for the Liberators to siege. Well, there you go. And they come in just like that. Focus it down. We have the GG. And that is the series. Alright, Lighthood with a very dominating map there. Let me see if I can get myself back on camera, get everyone back in. Alright, congratulations, Lighthood. Late at night or not, you are moving on to the semifinals of Code S Plus, and you have made it here all the way from Standard Code S.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and an
So,
honor.
yeah, a little bit
Against the higher players.
A little bit of a gap in between maps, but I don't think you missed a beat there.
Yeah. I was like, my TVT is my best matchup.
Yeah,
I would feel comfortable on TVT.
you seemed very comfortable,
You're like
even
the best player I have ever played in
Thank you.
TVT ever by a long shot. Like you're like high masters in your TVT. How is your
Thank you,
other
thank
race matchup?
Well, my Zerg is 50%. For Protoss, 40%. It's the lowest.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
So-
mean it's ridiculous how good your TVT is. It's not even close. Because I played
Thank you.
a lot in the last 2 weeks, and no one is as close as good as you are. At
Thank
least
you
on the
so much.
Diamond 1 level.
and I want to note something
Thank you a
else.
lot.
I mean, you were very heavy on the a lot heavier on the Reapers in previous games. This time you had those 2 that just wouldn't die. Until finally there was that drop where you just decided to hop in and join the rest of the party. So, you know,
Yeah.
it was neat to see you do a bit of a different opening, too.
Yeah, I know he think that I will do Reapers again, so I thought maybe I changed the plan.
Yeah, I mean,
For
you know,
drop
still had to fit a couple Reapers in, but still.
Yeah, I always stuck with 2 Reapers. It's like my plan to do, always.
Yeah, as long as you got some out there. Reapers are very beautiful. They can cause a lot of chaos, and they can get you a lot of information. Alright, so I know it's late there. I have put the maps up for the best of 5 against DarkMenace. Is DarkMenace can be ready already?
Yeah, he's hopping on now, so...
Oh,
that's it.
beautiful.
Alright.
Alright, we will see you next season, KJ.
Alright, see ya.
Thank
Bye.
you so much, KJ.
GG.
Alright, so let's see what we got here.
V2 first, okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing here. I'll go ahead and bring that up too.
already vetoed. It's his
Yeah.
turn, I guess.
Yeah, I got that.
No problem.
I just have to get the right window up. I'm a little out of practice in my casting, just a tiny bit.
You're doing great.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of action to keep up with. It always is. All right, so yeah, just selector. There we go. First veto Babylon. We were waiting for DarkMenace to get ready. Alright, KJ is going to be doing observer duties here. I'm just going to be following his camera. Yeah, there's DarkMenace. I'll invite him to party. There we go. Gresvin has been vetoed. Now this is a best of 5. So that's the last of the vetoes. Let's see what you'll be starting.
Okay. Start with Chris. Before
Box. Royal blood. Alright, in the meantime, I'm creating the lobby, so feel free to join.
okay. It is except
And as soon as the maps are chosen, I will bring DarkMenace in to join us on voice. Ancient Cistern. A couple favorite maps of mine, particularly visually. They stand pretty far apart. And altitude. So those are the games we're definitely going to be playing. Next up, we'll be moving on, to the ones we might go to. And welcome, DarkMenace. So we're going to have a good old-fashioned TVZ here at about the highest level we're going to get in FSL. DarkMenace, can you hear me?
if you can. Okay, is it? Hello.
Hey, well, I was just saying welcome. You have been a formidable force in previous FSLs, no doubt about it. You are here in the semifinals of Code S Plus now. How's that Nike t-shirt? Not sure, I think I see the Just. I don't think we're picking up your voice.
Your voice.
No, I wasn't talking.
Oh, that's why. All right.
Yeah, I was helping him with his camera.
Here, I'm going to invite you back again. All right, KJ, I'm bringing you back into the lobby. I accidentally invited another friend. I don't know how that happened.
I was going to ask. But maybe he's another competitor.
He's a potential competitor for next year, but for now, he's not in the semifinals. We'll put it that way. But yeah, we're going to be streaming some old StarCraft 2 maps soon. Anyway, so DarkMenace, we haven't seen you in a little while because obviously it's a long way from Code B playoffs all the way to Code S+. How you been doing with the game?
I've been playing a decent amount recently,
Okay. Have you been keeping an eye on Lighthood's matches?
A little.
A little? And Lighthood, you started, of course the two of you started in different divisions of Code S and Code S+, so, I know you've at least observed a little bit of each other.
Yeah, a
And
little bit.
yeah, and Lighthood, you said your TVZ about 50-50?
Yeah. It's a 50, it's a gamble.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, best of 5 is a very different animal. There's a bit more room to try things out, a bit more room to recover from mistakes. So I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this one. I'm glad we managed to find some good time for it. So without too much further ado, just a little bit of ado, I'm going to take you guys into your chat rooms and your matches.
I'm ready.
We're going to be starting on Royal Blood. GLHF, folks. GLHF. All right, here we go. So the first of the semifinals has already been decided, and the winner was Lighthood's own brother, Harus. So there's a lot we could see here. DarkMenace, of course, pretty closely related to KJ Freedom. All right. In the upper right, we have our pink Zerg. He is
DarkMenace.
And his opponent, the Code S champion, now in the semifinals. He is called
Lighthood.
All right. The eternal battle of dark blue versus pink. Classic colors for wedding cakes, ladies and gentlemen. And we have Lighthood walling off the natural. Well, DarkMenace taking a standard hatchery first. Now, this is what's going to be interesting here. Of course, DarkMenace scouting across the map with his Overlord. Double barracks. So we're going to have to see how well DarkMenace is going to be taking on the Reaper offensive that Lighthood's been very known for here. And honestly, not unusual at the pro level at the moment. This is very much in the current meta in TVZ. Walling off with not one, but 2 barracks at the natural rather than the main. Alright, gas is being mined. And yep, not surprising, we have a 3rd barracks as well. So a lot of this is going to come down to how familiar DarkMenace is with the early aggression that Lighthood's known for. I'm pretty sure he's done his homework, though. And I'm pretty sure he wants that Code S Plus championship as much as anyone. See what we can have here. Now, the initial Zerglings, before they get speed, they're mostly there just to keep the Reapers busy. The Queens, on the other hand, can do a bit better at chasing the Reapers off, but they still only stay at the border of the creep. And here we go. Reaper number 1 going straight after. Oh, look at how quickly DarkMenace was able to save that drone. However, here comes the Reaper right back. So, up. Zergling's chased it away. This drone, the life of this drone, ultimate poetry. Could be the ultimate triumph, the ultimate tragedy. There goes the Queen, getting to the edge of the creep, putting a creep tumor down so it can get a little bit more mobility. Lighthood is taking an expansion. And DarkMenace doing a good job getting the Queen back onto the creep without it being grenaded too far away from it. Reaper's probably ready to just hop up into the main. No, they're heading around to the natural again, as DarkMenace is taking a third. Oh, look at that. A lot of damage being done to that queen. We've got another queen moving up. It does not have enough energy to transfuse, however. It's going to want to try to focus down the most wounded Reaper. The Reaper does leave, and it will be able to heal. And nope, no history of DarkMenace and Lighthood playing. DarkMenace goes back to the beginning with FSL, but this is Lighthood's first season, and he has made an impact. And there we go. How many Reapers do we have? Well, quite a few. We have 8 Reapers on the map right now. DarkMenace is going to have to hold out. The Zerglings do have speed. He's going to have to very carefully balance between keeping the queens healed and getting enough larvae injected so he can keep fighting the Reapers off with these speedlings. So far, well, let me just put it bluntly, he's doing a whole lot better than I think I'll ever do. Look at, he's managing to whittle them down to, well, just 3 of them. One of them is way back on the other side of the map right now, so DarkMenace, for the amount of pressure that was put against... Look, check it out. Zergling's waiting beneath in case they tried to run away from that first group. The swarm lives. And Lighthood, it's past midnight where he's at, so he's going to have to keep focused. He's going to have to do everything he can here and probably try to find a way to keep an eye on what Lighthood is doing. He is going with Marines now. He is done with the Reapers. Stim is being researched, and Lair is on the way from DarkMenace. He's starting to get more queens out, starting to spread his creep, and that creep spread can be vital with the mobility of Lighthood's army. Natural, a little bit oversaturated. I'm guessing he's just about to transfer a bunch of those drones, but there's a lot of attention that's being taxed here. He does not want Lighthood to take him by surprise with a drop. And I think Lighthood's just about to make a scan and try to take out that Overlord. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe this is just a good defensive corner for them. If you're up against Zerglings, you want your back against the wall. You want as little surface area as possible for them to attack. And there goes the unbuildable plate. DarkMenace, despite starting on the defensive, is keeping his lings very active on that side of the map. Spire has started, so he might be trying to use a little bit of mobility of his own between the Speedlings and the Mutalisks, and he has a changeling getting a look around, seeing exactly what he's up against. Primarily stemmed Marines. Combat Shield only just starting. And pretty good creep spread on his side of the map. So far on 3 hatcheries. And look at, I mean, between the unbuildable plate at the bottom of the ramp and all the long sort of ravine blocked by destructible rocks that he's been clearing out, he is making it all the easier to get back and forth from one side of the map to the other. So far, no attacker armor upgrades for either side. And DarkMenace has pretty notable lead as far as both workers, well, as far as worker supply goes. Lighthood is investing very heavily in Marines. And until a moment ago, he actually had the supply lead as far as army went. He's got the Reaper to look ahead. Couple of medevacs carrying siege tanks. And he's going to want to be ready to attack, but pick up whenever he can. Look at that initial spread, just in case there are Banelings waiting for him. Instead, along the speedlands, he is backing things up with Roach Tech. Queen's moving forward, ready to heal. And Lighthood is going to keep falling back over and over again to the siege tanks. KJ, Cruz wants to know if you can show the APM of the 2 players for a moment or two. Especially during this fight. Those Marines, there's only 2 medevacs there, and they are already a little bit overstemmed. 1 siege tank within range of, I think in range of the hatchery. Look at how clever that is. Getting up on the high ground to attack the siege tanks, but right away a scan. But with that, the siege tanks are down, and the medevacs are going to head home. Lighthood still at a supply disadvantage for both workers. Matheson, don't be smart, okay? +1 attack almost done for Lighthood's bio. Now these lings and roaches are moving to the other side of the map. With this number of Marines and a couple of well-placed siege tanks, it's all about... Oh, here come the Banelings. They still don't have speed, however. There are 4 Mutalisks getting ready to hatch. DarkMenace is driven back. So he's going to try to attack from multiple sides. We're seeing a nice little tug-of-war through the middle of the map. Each one trying to push the other's units back. DarkMenace is in the process of taking 2 more hatcheries, 2 more expansions. And here come the mutas. So there is no shortage of anti-air on the side of... Yes, I believe M is the hotkey for the current and average APM. So KJ, you know, if you want to make Harus very happy, go ahead and show that. I am seeing 600. I'm seeing the 600s for DarkMenace and the 400s for Lighthood.
Just focus on casting. There's no way we can show that. That's
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I see. Okay. Good to know. All right. We're going to get a nice... Yep. Hatchery canceled just in time. Oh, that's right. I'm the one that can show it. Alright, well here are the mutas. And there aren't a lot of Marines on this side of the map just yet. Down to 3 of them. Oh, if they can snipe that siege tank, that'll be a good hit. 5 SCVs do go down. DarkMenace has creep spread about to the middle of the map now. Lighthood being very careful to keep the siege tanks right on the border. Here you go. And yeah, he does have Balin speed. So anytime they encounter each other, it's going to be, well, very hectic. I think... I'm surprised more Mutalisks didn't go down. Just one did, but the other one only has a sliver of health left. Lighthood does have his 3rd. Scans going down, making sure he knows what he's up against. Is he going to clear any creep? I don't see him scanning where his army is at. Just around it. Siege tanks are sieging. And DarkMenace is working on attacking that army from 3 different sides right now. Drawing the siege tank fire in all directions. Here come the Lings, here come the Banes. And once again he cleans up. No Mutalisks left. So that leaves very little he can attack the... Well, nothing he can attack the medevacs with, except for the Queen's back home. And here we go. He goes for the counterattack. Very good, what do you call it, arc on the Roaches, but they're still in really good numbers. Roaches do have +1 attack. Liberator liberates the area, and everything gets driven forward. Army supplies staying very, very similar, but right now DarkMenace is getting close to double the worker supply. So right now he's in a position where he can sacrifice Roaches, even transition out of them. We have the Hydras backing them up, so now we have something that can take out Liberators and Medevacs. He is keeping his distance from siege tanks, however. More upgrades complete. DarkMenace is at 111, and we have the Lurker down in production. Yeah, Baneling hits make a big difference. And we do have at least one mine being made by Lighthood as far as the splash damage goes. There's one out already. And lots more upgrades going down for DarkMenace. DarkMenace is in a position where he can afford to spend a lot more on upgrades and tech. And here come, well, just one medevac. He's going to see what he can get done with it. It is going to get spotted a little bit. Lighthood's armory completes. Drops the Marines, takes out one Zergling, but he's going to need to get more damage than that done. There's an excellent creep highway between all these bases. The Marines come in, they snipe 3 SCVs, then immediately have to be picked up, moved over to the main. Queen getting some damage done on the medevac, but gets driven back immediately. Zerglings come up and around, picks up the Marines again, and heads eastward. And has that Overlord been there on outside of Lighthood's natural this entire game? I think it has. That Overlord's seen things, man. It's seen a lot. So right now, there's less and less of the map that Lighthood can step on that isn't covered in creep. We got both Corruptors. We got Corruptors coming out, and we have got Lurkers with almost all their upgrades going now. So here we go. Zergling's moving ahead as Lighthood works to clear that creep. I think the big story of this game is DarkMenace just did such a good job standing up to all those Reapers early on. And since then, he's just built up and built up. Lighthood has had, excellent production, but just has... Oh, here we go. That medevac goes down with 4 passengers inside. But yeah, Lighthood, despite everything he's done, has never really disrupted DarkMenace's economy in any way. DarkMenace, I think, has delayed Lighthood from expanding. In the meantime, he's even caused at least a little bit of economic trouble with Mutalisk, maybe not much. Ooh, standard burrow being researched. And look at that line. Oh, there, that Eternal Overlord. It's immortality being caused into question, but it does make it over an empty area as we have such a huge blob, well, a huge swarm, heading right into Lighthood's 4th. Alright, Command Center does get picked up. The majority of the army is able to back away, drive the attacking forces off. More upgrades going down on both sides. Rain +1 melee, +2 ranged, +2 carapace. And then on the other side of the map, +1/+1 for barracks units. That's just such an intimidating force that DarkMenace has there, and those lurkers, he can use those just like Lighthood was using the siege tanks. He can keep falling back to them and keep gaining more ground. +3/+3 being researched for range from DarkMenace, and Lighthood just doesn't have that kind of money. He's at 52 workers versus 83. So he's got to do something to turn things around right now. His options are limited, though, especially with all that creep. Not only does that give a speed bonus to the Zerg units, but it also gives a lot of visibility, a lot of early warning, even beyond the Overlords that are around, too. There we go. Got to pick up again. He has a planetary fortress at the 4th. DarkMenace, meanwhile, he can do a lot of damage very quickly. +1 for factory units. I guess factory and starport units for Lighthood. And he just managed to get +2/+2 for his barracks units. Yeah, I don't see any Vipers just yet. Oh, and these Banelings aren't going to do much damage against the Marauders, but at the same time, we have the attack forces hitting the 3rd, hitting the natural. Lighthood, even though he hasn't taken a lot of mineral areas, a lot of expansion points. He does have extra orbitals down. Here we go, more creep cleanup going. Lighthood is mopping up the mess. He's done a lot of stimming, however. Might need to wait a moment for these medevacs to do some healing. Might be able to back up to high ground right here. Fighting the Zerglings off, but the Hydralisks are coming up right behind. And those Marauders do not have a lot of life left, while the Corruptors chase off the medevacs. And once again, I mean, he definitely did damage, but not a lot as far as economic damage goes. Yeah, I don't think he's been doing a ton of injecting. Here we go. Either way, he's keeping the pressure on. He has more than enough hatcheries to keep things producing. Siege tanks being cleared out. Not a lot of infantry to counter this with right now. He is down to 91 supply. Orbital being driven off, orbital being destroyed. And that might be the crushing blow right there. Right now he's got 47 lings left, and they're currently just standing there in tank fire, but he quickly remedies that. Lots of lurkers, though. And with the ground army that Lighthood has, those are going to be really hard to clear up, even with siege tanks. He needs liberators or ghosts, but I don't think he has the economy to support them. There we go, they are within range of one of the orbitals. Corruptors moving in, everything moving in. We are down to 35 army supply, 37 worker supply. Those Banelings, I gotta compliment Lighthood for keeping the Marauders in front whenever there's Banelings to deal with. It's definitely kept him alive longer, but I think pretty clearly this is going to be it. 11 more SCVs have gone down. He's trying to attack with Marauders, and we have the GG. Amazing fight there. Lighthood, like I said, making a very aggressive start and just not getting enough damage done. And DarkMenace just getting further and further foothold as the match went on. Now we are moving on to Ancient Cistern for map 2. Oh, guess we lost DarkMenace for the moment. Okay, DarkMenace is rebooting, it's all good. It's just part of playing computer games. His computer is just fine, I can still see him on camera, so... I don't know. This might be a good time for me to brag that I'm really, really close to Ascension level 600 in co-op. Doesn't really figure in here, but I gotta say, I'm hyped to get to the next. I believe I will unlock a emote of a badge with the number 600 on it. I'll take what I can get at this point. Alright, reloading. Let's give Lighthood some time to decide how he wants to go next. DarkMenace was definitely... he knew what to do against that Mass Reaper. So, I wonder if Lighthood is either going to do a different opening, or even just proxy some of those Reapers. There's a lot of different directions he can go. He definitely seems to favor bio with a little bit of tank support.
Hey, boot DarkMenace's ghost
Sure.
item there, and then re-invite the real one because he's back
Sure
on.
thing.
It's like a weird StarCraft BattleNet thing where if you get booted, it has this ghost profile that can do nothing, right?
The ghost profile is still showing up in the FSL. Let's see if he's on my list. Here, could you invite him back to party? I don't know. Should I close out of StarCraft and reload it? I'll give that a try anyway.
No, I think
Yes?
you just have to relog. You don't have to close StarCraft. You just relog on. All you have to do is click that button, the globe icon.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then reload, and that'll work.
Alright. Good to know. And yes, advice, coaching between games is fine, just no communication during the match. During the actual map. Alright, inviting everyone in again. Here. I think everyone's got to leave the old party, though. Oh, okay. And Lighthood. Invite. Alright, let's give this another shot. Ancient Cistern. Matheson always on point. Heading into lobby right now. Lighthood ready? Alright, let's do this. Just do it. Oh man. Yeah, I'd consider Vales to be a pretty good practice partner.
Game paused.
Oh. Okay, monitor went out of whack. Alright. Pays to think on your feet. Okay.
Game resumed.
In the upper left, or in the lower left, we have the pink Zerg. He is and his opponent, the blue Terran in the upper right. He is alright. Once again, going for the wall on the low ground. And DarkMenace taking a similar beginning as well. Going hatch first. Scout with the Overlords. Double barracks wall, as expected. DarkMenace up one map right now. Not much to say so far. I mean, this map's going to be a little bit similar to Royal Blood. Got kind of the high ground path blocked by the rocks in the middle. Very big mains. So if Lighthood wants to do a drop, he might do well to drop it out of vision and then move in. And here comes the first Reaper. Alright, moving in. He's hiding he's hiding his drone at the third, just in case. It's interesting. It's like Lighthood is just showing one Reaper, but he's got more coming in behind it. Maybe trying to play around with DarkMenace's expectations of this. DarkMenace, of course, keeping one of the queens right there at the border of creep. It gets bounced, but not quite off the creep. And more Reapers are coming in. We have 4 on the map right now. 2 queens ready to meet them. Now, one thing I didn't see Lighthood do a lot last map was to try to jump up on the high ground, to try to alternate between attacking the natural and the main. Oh, grenade doesn't hit. One of the Reapers goes down. So that's definitely going to make this a little bit less effective in the long run. And Zerglin's speed almost done, so if Lighthood learned anything from last match, he's probably going to want to stop investing at this point, and probably move on to plan B. Still, if he can keep clearing out Zerglings as they spawn, that might be a different matter. Two tech labs being produced, so okay, 1 tech lab. I'm assuming he's going to start doing his marine upgrades in just a moment. I don't know. You know, either Matheson's broken or he's more on point than ever. So right now I think the Reapers are just there to control that area. Just prevent the creep spread, see whatever comes out, and yes, probably do some damage over at this third if they can. Right now we're up to 16 fast Zerglings though. And these Reapers might find themselves trapped pretty easily. He's using the minerals to his advantage. Does get a bunch of them surrounded, just a couple of them, they get surrounded too. That is the end of the Reaper harass right there. And And we'll see how well Lighthood can transition out of it this time. Big thing he's going to want to do is, well, damage. The Reapers, they cost gas. They're heavy investments. And, you cause some chaos with them, that's a good thing. But you got to do quite a bit in order to make them pay for themselves. On top of that, they require quite a bit of attention, too, although I've never really seen Lighthood get slowed down by his own Reaper micro. Yeah, after later on this weekend, I'm probably going to be seeing if I can just gather up some of the previous replays and feed them to Matheson. His brain needs replays. Now, Lighthood not as far behind in economy as he was last match. DarkMenace going for a Spire much earlier. And in the meantime, just keeping the Zerglings busy, getting rid of rocks to make surrounding easier as he tries to go up ramps. Command center is being created, getting ready to float out. Once again, we've got an Overlord that's just kind of there in the corner of the natural, ever present. And here we go. 2 medevacs full of Marines. They have stim and they have combat shields. However, these Zerglings are going to see them flying right over. So the element of surprise is not on Lighthood's side right now. He is following it up with a Liberator, which is about halfway done. Roach speed completed. And he is pretty close to completing ranged attack upgrade as well. Alright, Lighthood elects to just drop the Marines off the creep. So odds are he's just going to come in, maybe poke a little, clear some creep, then back off again. Three Mutalisks in production, just to cause a little bit of trouble over at his opponent's mineral lines. And there we go, there's the scan. Gets rid of a tumor. Nothing wrong with that. Ooh, he does lose some Marines, though. And there are a few of those Mutalisks chasing right after those medevacs. They can't really drop anything out of them right now, because they'll get surrounded immediately. Boost comes in, so he is going to drop them amongst their teammates, amongst the rest of the Terran army. Mine goes off, but only manages to get one Zerglin. DarkMenace. I mean, this is very similar to last game. DarkMenace is ahead. Oh, look at that! Nothing worse for Mutalisks than Widow Mines. And I think Lighthood kind of saw that coming. Look at that. Mutalisks do get a little bit of damage on one of the Widow Mines while staying out of there for long enough. Hydroden going. I am assuming that DarkMenace is going to be going with Lurker attack for his late game. And meanwhile, just keeping himself busy. DarkMenace's units are always doing something, and if it's not the enemy units, it's the rocks. Something's got to be taking damage from his army, and something always is. Lighthood currently just has a slight army advantage. Getting DarkMenace just as this fourth base is getting up and running. That could give him a pretty good spot. And five drones went down. Was that yeah, that was thanks to the Liberator. And right now he is working to he snipes the hatchery after it was already complete. No cancel available there. DarkMenace momentarily, well, he is supply blocked still. Backing up off of creep, cutting as he goes. And DarkMenace attempting to surround as many units as possible, keep them within range of those roaches. And Lighthood just needs to get some economy going. 77 workers to 51. He's always been able to keep the army count pretty even, but you want to keep replacing your army units. You gotta have the money to handle it. And yes, very good with the Liberator. We weren't even looking at that. Say it wouldn't hurt to have some Liberators and or Siege Tanks to back this up. But right now, Focusing on the 4 M's: Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and Mine. More mines in production. I think he is going to try to snipe that hatchery again once it completes. What do we have over there? Just a little bit of... just a Zerglian and some Changelings kind of hopping into the mineral lines. That drop got cleaned up. However, Lighthood loves attacking multiple places at once. And once he gets going with that, it's classic whack-a-mole. Two Marauders and a Marine got left behind. They're okay. They're just going to hoof it home. Or are they? Actually, I think they're going to get surrounded. Oh well, I hope they got credit on their Fitbits at least. Vale says needs to be 8 racks, 2 factory. Yeah, I mean the economy is behind, but also the production to some extent. However, Lighthood is definitely getting a lot more damage done this time around. There we go. Lurker upgrades are being researched. Lighthood ahead of that. I don't know exactly what happened there. He's supply blocked. I guess they destroyed... Yeah. I don't know if it was supply depots or command center. But here we go. Lighthood staying active. He's gonna need those liberators once the lurkers start coming into play. Alright, now supply block. Well, I guess supply block still, but seismic spine's almost done. Lighthood's still on 1-1, and I do not see any more upgrades coming, so that's another thing where DarkMenace has been really edging ahead each time. He is at 2-2 for his ranged Zerg, and the +2 armor also benefiting his Zerglings. Alright, that medevac got noticed, but the Mutalisk's not quite in the neighborhood right now. I think it's going to be able to get away with boost. And yeah, DarkMenace has really been able to keep those Overlords and Overseers at good vantage points without Lighthood doing anything about them. Oh, he's going to have to get the lifeboats, get those troops out of there. Not a single unit manages to escape that medevac. And meanwhile, Zerglians are working on preventing that expansion from going down. Lighthood really needs the economy. And while they're dealing with that, here come the Zerglians. The mines managed to take out quite a bit, but there's more coming. I think he's going to have to cancel that command center. Oh, no, I guess he won't, but still very vulnerable. Lighthood taking very good trades here, but DarkMenace's troops just keep on coming. And DarkMenace definitely seems to favor just having a little handful of Mutalisks. Oh, and those Mutalisks just got smashed with that Widow Mine, but the majority of them are still up in the air. That Liberator almost finished them off with the splash damage. More and more Zerglings in production. We have a total of 56 Zerglings on the map with 28 in their eggs. And it looks like he's just going to overrun it. He is going to swarm Lighthood right here. Lighthood definitely getting a lot more done this match, but in the end, just not being able to hold DarkMenace off. The whole match, he just kept slipping further behind little by little. And I think next map, he might want to just stick with one Reaper, the way things have been going anyway. Okay, here we go. 2-0. If DarkMenace takes this next match, he wins the series, and he moves on to the Code S Plus Grand Finals. Alright, let's take another look at the maps. We are going to Altitude for our map 3. DarkMenace had multiple different technical difficulties in a row, and he bounced back from it pretty well. Tech support is always frustrating, but StarCraft is frustrating too, and there's nothing like having to combine the two. Okay, Lighthood is going to take a 2-minute break, and I am going to grab some chocolate milk for my daughter. So I am, let me see what I can turn on here. Tell you what, during this time, how about we watch just a little bit of last week's match with the other semifinals? All right, 2-minute intermission, folks. It off. Doesn't quite get taken out by the Stalker. Shade following it, but too little too late. Twilight Council almost done for Cruz. Now this is the goofy map from last season. I know that stranger freestyle maps are being encouraged a little bit more in the upcoming Team Liquid Map contest or the current one. Both of them even on workers, Veil's just a tiny bit ahead as far as Army goes. There's the Adapt. It's going to get chased away. Does try to see if he can shade in, but the wall is up. And the Adept goes down. We have a Reaper and a Hellion heading to the other side of the map. Gateway wall going up right here. Dragging it. Max packs the home story top. Hey, I'm all for that. Another probe goes down, so... I mean, as far as units lost, definitely Cruz has suffered a little bit more. I mean, small victories, but victories nonetheless. Blink Tech. Over halfway done. Couple of tech labs going up for Veils. Put one siege tank next to natural orbital, put another on high ground. And Harus definitely seems to be investing heavily in the Blink Stalkers. And to everyone rating us, I apologize for my voice. I have a very, very stuffy nose that I've been talking about on and off throughout the evening. Here they go, Stalkers, but even Blink Stalkers are going to struggle a little bit against all these siege tanks. There they go, through the little ravine with the slow zone in the rocks. And a Reaper tailed at them. They're just checking the other side. And here we go. Blink Stalkers immediately suffering from the tank fire. Only one of them ends up losing anything beyond shields. There's also a Banshee. Another Banshee on the way too. No cloak on it though. In fact, Veils hasn't researched any upgrades yet, although Stim about a quarter of the way done. Stalkers seeing if there's a base over here. I guess maybe also seeing if they can blink in, but those siege tanks cover quite a bit. Charge being researched. And combat shields coming too. Veil's definitely focusing pretty heavily on tech. Salvages the barracks, and then immediately gets to work destroying the Okay, enough of listening to me sniffle. Wow. I gotta preview those intermission matches before I pick them. Lighthood's rebooting StarCraft 2. Okay. As soon as we're done with these, I promise to take my daughter to Sea Life Aquarium over at Mall of America, so gearing up for that. What do they officially call them? No. Hmm? Yeah. Lighthood has certainly had his share of internet issues. And honestly, yeah, honestly, I was having some of what I thought were internet issues, but it turned out to be GPU issues, but I've figured those out too. Downloading. Is that the map, I guess? Here. That's my BattleNet app. 98%. Yeah, it's tricky. There's a lot about StarCraft where you've got to keep your cool, but that's easier said than done when you tried multiple things and very little of it's working. And yeah, nerves can also really make your hands numb, or even shaking. I've definitely had matches where my hands were shaking. Anyway, we will be on altitude. And I think we're going to be moving ahead for real in just a moment. Nearly done. But yeah, for some reason, it seems like Lighthood's being required to re-download the altitude map. I know he's played on it before. Yeah, biomicro, it can take its toll. Can end up having hands that are really tired. Nearly done. Yeah, for me, I think a lot of it's just going to come down to making sure that he keeps up with his upgrades, his attack, and his expansions. I gotta say, every single time he was keeping up with army. It's just those other items. Yeah. Fast hands. Yep. Alright. Lighthood is reopened again. I'll just get them back on camera. It is hard to Tyrion. There's a lot of split-second decisions to make. Thank you, Matheson. Did you know Bjorn gave me a hug when I met him? I believe it. He's a very social guy. From what I've heard, anyway. I've never met him or hugged him. but maybe. But yeah, for me, I loved his World Championship win, Beyond's World Championship win, and it came at such a valuable time. He won GSL without a team, just as all those teams were folding. So it was kind of an extra piece of hope. Not to mention, I mean, it was just heartwarming to see him win GSL and win BlizzCon. Oh, hi, KJ. Can you remake it? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna quit lobby. Oh. Alright. Inviting everyone in again. The match creation meta. Yeah. One of these days, KJ, maybe we should just go on. You know, you can tell stories about pros. I can throw around meaningless trivia, including a whole lot of lore. We're actually having a big lore discussion today because there's a streamer from Chile, who posted some sort of joke thing about a StarCraft story pack or something with him joining Blizzard to help it, and he had a fake Blizzard news post with his picture in it. Okay. So yeah, in the lower discords, we were sort of looking at that and poking holes in it.
I ended up clicking on Pig's thing. I clicked on the wrong guy.
All right. Well, I think we can do it this time. Anyway, apparently in some countries, December 28th is the equivalent of April Fool's Day. And that's what was meant by it. I guess a lot of people who read that didn't Oh. Just lost Lighthood again. Maybe Lighthood should reboot his computer. Yeah, one moment. Here. Lighthood, maybe you should reboot your computer. Okay, we'll be waiting. Something weird where every time he tries to join the lobby. Create lobby. Come on. I want to see our second grand finalist. All right. Yeah, he's gonna reboot. Yeah, some of the few haven't met many pros. I did get to say hello to a handful of recognizable names at Psy. Yes, this is a game in itself. I did get to meet a few big names over at Psystorm Cup, and then actually I've had a couple, fairly recognizable names come to some of my Barcraft events. Got to meet Toast, who founded Scythe Gaming, Jedi Zealot, some of the other founders of Psionic Aftermath, some of whom later became Alpha X. Actually, Ruff just came to one of the LAN parties we did over at the Mall of America. And Panda Bear Me and Nina back when she was Puck. So yeah, it's neat. It's nice to network in the community. And something I love about StarCraft, that it's not actually that hard to kind of... Yeah, okay. Lighthood says he's going to go ahead and restart his computer. And there we go. But, yeah, I mean, StarCraft 2, even the StarCraft community overall, it's, you get to meet people. And a lot of those people aren't quite as overloaded in their comments or their posts, their social media. They don't really get a chance to notice you. FSL, FSL, FSL. This is the fun Star League, people, and this is part of the fun. This is the work that goes into. Yeah, he probably is kind of sleepy. It's, I guess at this point, past 1 o'clock over there. Maybe a nap is in order. Yeah, it's tricky, and I mean, Harus and Lighthood both knew this going in. So did Vales, who's in the chat. And then we have our players in the Philippines who have to really set their alarm clock to try to get into the matches. Yeah, we started about, I guess, an hour and a quarter early. I'm all for that. My office here doubles as a it's an office and gaming area. Yeah, maybe I'll get it back on the screen here. But yeah, behold, I work remotely for tech support companies here, and I play remotely. I play a lot here, so I've got 2 monitors on my desk. I'm trying to figure out if I can fit a third on. My desktop, got my work laptop, and my gaming tower. And then, yeah, various little StarCraft items to motivate me. So we shall see, but I've been doing a good share of upgrades to my computer over the last year. And then, probably at some point, I'm just going to scavenge parts from it. Scavenge some parts from it, and, maybe make one completely from scratch. Use the time wisely. At the very least, you can strategize a bit. DarkMenace reclining his gaming chair. I don't know why it would have told him that it was downloading stuff, but I think obviously something needs to be refreshed. My job is tech support, and I guess my hobby in a lot of ways is too. One of the members of MN Barcraft, Yomyoja, he's in Grandmaster, and he's started doing some of his own streaming, and he's done so much moderation on the Twitch channels of other big names. They keep sending viewers his way. Maybe I'll even post his Twitch channel in the chat, or we can raid him after, as this is wrapping up. He is quite a guy, and he has carried us through a lot of 3v3 and 4v4 matches. And he did make it to DreamHack Atlanta, and he's been able to visit Korea here and there too, so he's definitely got a few stories. And Harus warned us, Lighthood's computer does not reboot quickly. Where can I... Alright. Reboot finished. I'm going to invite to party again. And we are going to cross our fingers and create the lobby. Previous times, every time Lighthood tried to join, he'd get booted from the StarCraft 2 program. Come on. Waiting for party. I don't know, but I'm doing my best to keep things entertaining. Here. Let me see if I can mute, But it's stuck, okay.
Maybe let him
Hasn't
host.
kicked him.
Let's see what happens.
Try. Myself. Actually, you know, oop. Oh boy. But yeah, I was thinking about a little bit of singing. It's, want to try to stick with public domain though, so, here, let's see. Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a trufala tree, and he sang as he sat and waited while his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he sat and waited while his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Hey, Carus, is there any chance you can use your computer? Oh. Okay, I am, but it's for camera, so. Up came a jumbuck to drink from the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee, and he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up rode the ranger, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up jumped the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Who's that jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Who's that jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman right into the billabong. You'll never catch me alive, said he. And his ghost can be heard as you pass by the billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, and his ghost can be heard as you pass by the billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Popular song in Australia. Alright, so Just waiting to hear what the next step's going to be. Yeah, seeing whether maybe he can just use the other computer. I mean, it'd be a shame if he. Be a shame if we had to end another Lighthood game without an ending. Protoss and Terran PC setup won't work. Right. Let me see if I can just queue something up for now. Alright, well, I'm going to go back to some video packages for now.
Alex, I just heard that I think you're dead, right? Yes. Yeah. You just mentioned that apparently you like watching my videos. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Instability, Stu Blue, and Neutrophil. Good luck in the FSL. Protoss Power.
Hello, Meadow. Thank you for being my fan. I hope you can keep cheer for me and have a nice day with StarCraft.
For you, Meadow.
Hello, Meta. Keep playing StarCraft 2. Hope you enjoy the game.
Hey, DarkMenace. Keep playing Turk. It's fun and hopefully you'll get some good results. I'm cheering for you.
Alright, KJ, you're the party leader right now. Let's see if we can get him to lobby. I don't know if I got a lot of oh, okay. I don't know if I've gotten a lot of shout-outs. I did submit a whole lot of questions, Patreon questions, to the Pylon Show. So the name HyperTurtle did come up a lot. Alright. Let me switch around. Alright. Lighthood's going to put his camera on. So we are ready to go now. Map 3. Spectator. No club. For the record, I know a lot more songs by heart, but that might be for another night. Alright. Lighthood wants one sec. DarkMenace is ready. Altitude. The map that's partially covered in snow. Had a mild winter so far here in Minnesota. It was raining all Christmas. Imagine that. I'm not expecting either of these players to try to do anything particularly fancy, like with the gold mineral expansions or any surprises. I'm expecting this to be very similar to the previous two matches. But I think Lighthood, hoping Lighthood isn't too thrown off, both by the losses and by having to work through those technical issues. There we go. He is on camera. Or by the late night gaming session. Alright, we are ready. We are doing map 3. GLHF. It's that map where I really wish more people would crush the Zelnaga Watchtower than clear out the debris. Doesn't happen as often as I'd like, but happens once in a while. In the lower left, we have the Red Terran. He is let's reset.
Lighthood.
There we go. And his opponent, up 2 maps. Grand finals are within his reach. He's the pink Zerg, and he is
DarkMenace.
Now, DarkMenace, did he actually go for the... He went for the extractor trick, the old classic, and gets a very early spawning pool. Meanwhile, Lighthood, this time, electing to wall off at the main. He's going to see that... to see the hatchery, but he's also going to see the spawning pool, so he's going to know that he's probably going to be starting out on the defensive. There we go. SCV's heading out to probably see when the Zerglings move out. I think DarkMenace might have been getting a little bit impatient. He wants to just finish this, and... Oh, but he is taking a third, so maybe more defensive. Maybe he was just making sure that he didn't have to have too much of a headache from those Reapers. We're going to have to see how Lighthood interprets this, though. I don't know whether he's going to be going extra hard on the infantry, or whether he's going to be standing back. Maybe even take the expansion a little late. He is building the command center on high ground. Looks like he's about to add make an add-on. Nope, just another supply depot, so he definitely has interpreted this as early aggression. But DarkMenace, being very crafty, despite the early spawning pool, he is going straight into a third. Granted, there's still room for early aggression with that. More hatcheries means more Zerglings. Factory on the way from Lighthood. He has foregone his classic Reaper play. He is just getting Marines out for the moment, and he is... Well, I think he was considering chasing down that Overlord, but thought it might be a trap. Right now there's only 4 Zerglings on the map. But there's no way for him to know that. There we go. Zerglings having a nice little snack. Yes, indeed, very exciting match ahead. Command center being moved to the low ground, starting to build his natural wall. So at the very least, Lighthood might start with a little bit more economy in the last couple of games. And yep, dangerous, but you move in, and the command center's all done. He's going to prevent the... Nope. The SCV gets away. He does delay the supply depot, but... Yeah, his speed, actually, is only maybe 3/4 of the way done, so... The Zergling Scout goes down without making it into the main, so... To some extent, DarkMenace doesn't know as much of what's going on either, but he does know that Lighthood has now taken his natural. So, probably not an all-in coming his way. Definitely not the kind of Reaper push, Reaper pressure he was doing before. Here we go. Zerglings being shift-clicked out, and Lighthood going Hellions this time. This is definitely a big change. Zerlings are just two. That's very clever. Two of them take one Xel'Naga Watchtower each. The other one goes outside the natural. But that leaves these Hellions just to move right ahead. They do extra damage to creep tumors, but they quickly have to back away from the queen. So, not, this is kind of an older style, but not an uncommon opening against Zerg, wanting to get the Hellions and Liberator out. Probably hit up front with the Hellions, and then come around, do some worker harass with the Liberator. So far, speed's been the only upgrade, Zerling speed. He does take down another creep tumor, and that is essential in delaying the kind of creep spread that DarkMenace has been able to deploy in the last couple games. I don't think there are any drones at the third just yet. Curious where he's going with that. He keeps adding Hellions, so he's going to want to either just get right past the queens, or maybe have a... I don't see him making any medevacs yet. And right now these Zergs just keep being exactly where they want to be. No bonus damage against them from fire. Here we go. One Zergling's toast. We are going with Baneling Nest and Spire again. And now with this investment in Hellions instead of Marines, that means a lot less to defend against Mutalisks. Although more Marines are on the way, as is Stim, which is about a third of the way done. I don't know. Once again, he got quite a few Hellions, and he hasn't gotten anywhere near the drones with them. That's the big problem there. It's a lot like the Reapers, where they just haven't done any economic damage. A couple medevacs on the way. I don't think it would hurt at all to pick up those Hellions and just drop them in a mineral line. DarkMenace is getting going with his upgrades. As before, he's definitely ahead in economy and workers, but his army supply is actually pretty far behind. So if Lighthood just really went for the throat, he might be able to absolutely get something done here. 50 army supply to just 18. Here come the medevacs. He does not have an armory yet, so those Hellions are not going to be healable. They're not going to turn into Hellbats. And here he goes, the 1-2 punch. Feigns the right and then charges right in on the left, right towards that third. As the Queens try to get home, those Hellions are probably just going to go... Oh, the Hellions do not move forward. Still, I think a lot of Queens could go down here. I'd really like to see the Hellions get in on the action here, though. Lots of transfuses going down. One of the Queens dies. And the Hellions are forced to evacuate. That hatchery is very heavily damaged. And boy, could these Hellions find a lot to toast over in this natural. Going after the drones. The roaches are picking them apart, though, so not nearly as many drone kills as he probably was hoping for. Combat shields being researched. Roach speed. DarkMenace is starting to catch up on the army size. Lighthood taking his third, floating the orbital command right over to there. And that hatchery at the third, I don't think it would be that hard to snipe it. Just has to choose his moment, though. So far, DarkMenace has been pretty content deflecting his opponent's attacks and then hitting him. He really hasn't made the first move very often. There go, just a few Mutalisks, along with Lingbay and Roach. And there we go, they are focusing down the hatchery. The hatchery goes down. The tanks and the Marines are pretty far into creep. Marines are having to get pretty far away, and that tank is going to be forfeit, so it's a tough call whether that hatchery snap is worth it or not. And right now, DarkMenace is ahead in both workers and army. Not to mention in upgrades, he has 1-1 for his Zerglings. And that +1 armor also benefiting the Roaches, so... If Lighthood doesn't pay quite a bit of attention to his upgrades and economy, this could go very similar to the last two matches. And once again, also, there's that Overseer. And the thing is, Lighthood hasn't really been... He just doesn't really make that many air units. He hasn't really been sending any Vikings or Liberators around to check for Overlords. And then we have the Mutalisks just kind of hovering over. And I think they're moving into the third. At the same time, the rest of the ground army is moving forward. And the Mutalisks... Oh, two of them survive, just barely. They do heal up faster than other Zerg units, but it's still going to take a bit. And here comes Zergling Harass. They did take a big hit, but now they are in the worker line, and Lighthood cannot afford to fall farther behind as far as the workers go. And the whole army being drawn back. As they move back, DarkMenace's army moves forward. Roach speed about halfway done. Wait, not Roach speed. What am I looking at? Hydra speed? Yeah, Hydra speed. Okay, got the armies clashing now. The tank did not get a chance to siege. Still, he was able to do a pretty good concave and drive the enemies off. Lots of Zerglings are in production right now. And Lighthood's army is pretty heavily stemmed. They can't take a lot of hits right now. And once again, Lighthood engaging pretty far into the creep. Now that means maybe some of the infantry can get away, but the siege tanks just keep being forfeit. There we go. Lighthood's army meeting up in the middle of the map. And Lighthood does have a fort this time. DarkMenace, meanwhile, trying to get his 5th and 6th bases up. Doesn't hurt, those are mineral only. Lighthood also keeping up with the upgrades. He is researching 2-2 and +2 attack for the factory units. And once again, DarkMenace not straying much as far as his strategy goes. He is researching the upgrades for his lurkers. Not once has he bothered with Vipers. It's all been... Well, it's been almost all ground with a little bit of air support with Mutalisks and Corruptors. But, yeah, never gone Vipers, never gone Infestors, never gone Ultralisks. Lighthood, meanwhile, in these matches against Zerg, has gone fairly light on air units. There we go, DarkMenace. Maybe a third of the way across the map as far as the creep spread goes. But I'm liking this. Look at Lighthood, only 2 workers behind. This is a whole different game if Lighthood has the money and the production. Right now he's got 7 barracks, 2 factories, 2 starports, and here we go. Armies are clashing. Excellent Baneling hits. And once again, Lighthood has to pick up and back away. However, he's also doing a drop there at the, I guess, 5th base? And again, picks up and heads off. As long as he can minimize his losses, as long as the majority of his army can escape each time, he can be in very good shape. Lighthood actually ahead in supply now. So this is a whole different ball game than Map 1 and Map 2. And check it out, 2 medevacs are just kind of hiding in the northwest corner of the map, but I think they're heading home. It's hard to tell, but yes, a lot of Zerglings moving in. Zergling attack speed being researched, along with +3/+3 for them. Meanwhile, also +1 ranged. So this defense is going to mean everything. He needs to get a good defense going here, and then he's going to have a very good opportunity to turn things around. He does have a nice little drop going on at the same time. Marines defending on the other side of that wall. Most of the Banelings are already spent, and DarkMenace's Zerglings rushing to defend that base. Still, a lot of damage being done in the natural as well. Lighthood has definitely fallen behind. He was even in workers. Now it's 55 to 82. And the Zerglings just keep on coming. And in just a moment, they're going to have their attack speed upgraded. +3 attack, +2 armor for the Zerglings right now. And he is not letting up. He just keeps producing and producing and producing. Lighthood has to get a reprieve. He's gotta replace some of those workers, although some good mule drops might take care of that too. And as I said, not that far behind as far as the upgrades go. +3/+3 for infantry is being researched. Here we go. Army's getting ready to clash. Lighthood falling back a little bit, making sure that he has the high ground. Lighthood just a little bit behind as far as the army supply goes. These siege techs being very effective as far as getting the initial shots in, but the swarm just keeps coming. 180 supply to 99. The ranged Zerg units just keep moving in, stutter-stepping ahead. This high ground siege tank being worth its weight in gold right now, but even so, I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Liberators forming zones around the Hydralisk, they go down. And the story of this is, even though he just keeps defending, he doesn't have the time. I mean, yeah, like War Bunny says, the minerals are really piling up for Lighthood. He just doesn't have enough factories and barracks to keep the replacements coming as fast as DarkMenace's ground troops do. They're looking at Lighthood at half the supply, and this might be it. Baneling's coming in. They don't manage to do any damage, but in the end, it's just one wave after another after another. It's the waves of the ocean pummeling on Lighthood repeatedly. DarkMenace can smell it. He is so close to the Grand Finals again. Code-esque Grand Finals, which he'd take on none other than Lighthood's brother Harus. At the moment, there's just so little Lighthood can do. The problems when it comes to being stuck on just a few bases as Terran, you want more production, but there's only so many places you can even set the barracks down to construct them. Lurkers are moving in against 3 planetary... I guess just 2 planetary fortresses, but still very bold. But right now, DarkMenace, he's got the troops to spare. Wave after wave after wave of Zerglings, with some Baneland, some Hydralisk, and Roach support. And this time, I think it's going to be too many. Lighthood is down to 34 workers. He's repairing the planetary fortress, but it still can't quite reach the Lurkers. More production is going down, and we have the GG. DarkMenace is going on to the Grand Finals. Alright. Well. And right now we don't have either of them in chat, I'm afraid. Lighthood does post GG in the chat afterwards. And he's also he's also earned an achievement. Destroyed 10 cloaked or burrowed units in a single melee game. So, I mean, he's leaving with one reward there. All right, hello, DarkMenace. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, so 3 games in a row, with both of you having to work your way through multiple technical difficulties. I think you just had you just did really well deflecting those initial attacks in each of the 3 games, and then moved further and further ahead as far as your economy and your upgrades went. I think, as with each game, Lighthood was able to do a bit more damage. Oh, here we go. With each game, Lighthood was able to get a bit more damage done with his attacks and was able to keep up with your upgrades and your economy a little better each time. But I think overall, you were just able to keep building up till you had the legitimate swarm. And, Lighthood, congratulations. You made it all the way to the Code S Plus semifinals through multiple games. This was your first FSL defeat.
I'm not satisfied. I played like very bad, really
Yeah,
bad.
I know it's pretty late at night.
3,000 minerals, 4,000 for nothing. I don't know why.
Yeah, your production, your upgrades, and your economy, all those were lying a little bit behind each of those matches. I think each match you did a little bit better. You were able to keep up more. But I know it's late at night, and
I think I did worse.
Yep. Well, nevertheless, you put on a good show. And so far, right now, you've still got the 3rd place match ahead of you too.
Yeah, against Nitrofel.
And Dark, we'll just find a better day for it. That's the way it goes with StarCraft. Meanwhile, DarkMenace, you will be moving on to the Code S Plus Grand Finals against Karus. I know you have played against him at least once, and you've seen a bit more of him. How are you feeling heading into the Grand Finals?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's all you can do. So, yeah, I know it's pretty late in Algeria, so we're gonna wrap it up. KJ, I'd love it if you could raid my friend's Twitch. I'll post that in the Discord.
Post the thing. I'll read it.
All right, here. Actually, I'll even just message it to you. All right. Well, I am off to the Mall of America. This has been a really exciting night. Thank you both. I know the scheduling hasn't been easy, but I'm looking forward to seeing more from everyone. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.